is Karen Wright. Welcome to this week's episode of Right at Home. Today we're at George County High School with Holly Hulbert and Coach Lane Scott, or should I say Coach Holly Hulbert?
Yes.
So they are the coaches for the George County High School flag football team, girl flag football team, right?
Yes.
So tell me how this got started.
You want to go?
I'll go first. So back in, I think it was November, we first got word that the Saints were reaching out to teams around the coast, around Mississippi, seeing who would be interested in doing this. And we jumped on it pretty early and started asking who would be interested, sent out a form to the students. And we got a lot of interest off of that. I think we had almost 80 fill that out.
Wow.
And then didn't know I was going to be coaching it back then, but it was about late January. Coach Ray asked me if I'd be interested in doing it, and I jumped on it, and then we got Coach Holly on board, and we just got it rolling from there. I think we had almost 50 tryout, so had a lot of interest, and it's probably I think it's just gonna keep building from this year. I think we'll probably have a bigger tryout next year.
Oh yeah.
So the New Orleans Saints is
They started all this. They've sponsored everything. It's been amazing. Coach Ray came and said, I know you're busy with cheer and everything, but can you please coach the girls flag football? And I said, okay, I'm really busy. I need to know kind of like the schedule. So he gives us the schedule. And then because somebody else is in charge and we're not in charge, it was pushed back like 3 weeks. And so it's like been a little hectic, but it's fine. And it's really actually been a lot of fun. But when we first started this and had the tryout, we've been kind of waiting and like, because we are in charge, but we are not in charge.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
you're answering to somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Coach Ray is answering to them as well. And so there's a lot of things that we haven't had control of, but in the end, it's come out great. When we had the tryout, we had 50 something. We had a lot of kids that really wanted to try out, then got nervous, kind of chickened out. Some more now that said, man, I wish I would have tried out. We're like, okay, there's always next year. Yep. But so basically, yes, the Saints are sponsoring. They have got Nike to sponsor our uniforms.
Oh, wow.
So we haven't had to pay for each. You're one of our sponsors that helped us get shirts for the girls because we had no practice clothes, no time no budget. You know, you got to have a budget to buy something. Right. Yes, and so we really have had several sponsors jump out and help us get at least one practice shirt and travel shirt for the kids, and we're working on getting another one. And then we were able to go to the Saints.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
2 Saturdays ago,
Yeah.
when I found out that I actually am friends with his mom and I could be his mom. Yes.
So they were like opening up their shirts. It was the shirt reveal?
It was
Yeah,
their
there was
uniform
a-
reveal.
Okay.
They filled the stands with all the teams that they invited. Not everyone was there, but we got first row right there, and they gave them boxes, and then had a big drum roll and everything, and made a big deal out of it, and it was really exciting for them.
So who was the guy that was taking the pictures with all the girls?
Oh, that was Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan.
Okay.
Yes, girl.
So was he the only one that was there, or
Yeah,
He was.
I don't know if he had planned to be there. He just showed up at the end because he was kind of just in like just regular clothes and jeans and t-shirt. So I don't know. He just swung by, and most of the girls didn't know who he was, but me and Coach Holly were way more excited than they were.
Oh my gosh! I was like, y'all do not know him? What?
Yeah.
It's a Pro Bowler. I mean, he's like,
He's been there a long time, too.
It's gonna be great.
That's awesome.
But he was so nice. A lot of guys like that have all that kind of clout and money. Would just take one group photo, and he did. But then he took a photo with every kid that wanted an individual photo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty
That was
It was really pretty. We were on that practice field, and in that area, and I mean, like, nobody gets to go in there, so it's really, really incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, how does it feel like just making history for George County High School to have the first flag football team? Like,
I mean,
it's pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, it's really, really been cool for the girls, for us, getting to be a part of it, and then on top of that, the first game that we won the first game in history, so that's a big deal too.
What was the score?
Yes.
37-0. So
Awesome.
Yes.
we had a good start for sure.
Yes, you did.
And we just found out, like, literally 10 minutes ago that Coach Scott got Coach of the Week from the Saints, and they just posted it on our Instagram, but they tagged us and they posted it from.
It's all super cool for me because like I started getting into football in general because of the Saints. Like it was probably 2006 was the first year I really like watched football, and I was a little kid. So I would watch the Saints like religiously every Sunday. Like as soon as I got out of church, I go watch the Saints and see like come all the way this way, and then how cool it would be for my little kid self to like see me getting coach of the week from the Saints now. It's
So you know the chant, the who dat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can you do it for us?
Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints?
Okay, that was good. I got to give you that.
You didn't know that one.
Oh no, I know it. But I cheer all the time, like and I'm on the
she's a-
sidelines.
yeah.
Like we have the greatest group of girls. Okay, they are the most unique group of children. We have band girls, we have cheer girls, we have soccer, we have volleyball, we have basketball, we have track, and we have tennis. And does anybody else? And a couple of girls that don't do any sport at school, but they play like travel ball or something.
Awesome.
And they have gelled together in the most amazing way and supported each other. They have not played sports together before, most of them. I mean, a few of them here, a few of them there. And they are cheering each other on. I mean, they're so excited. They're not jealous if somebody gets to play a little longer because it's their teammate.
Yeah.
And you don't always get that kind of chemistry, especially with girls.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
And I think that's something we also pay attention to in tryouts is like, okay, they're taking it seriously. Do they want to be here? Are they going to mesh well together? It wasn't just like if they were a great athlete or not. So that was partially
Attendance,
intentionally. too,
coming to
but,
school.
Yeah. So we kept a lot of those things in mind, and we have a really good culture right now.
We do.
So they kind of formed their own like
They have.
family.
Yes.
And y'all are the parents. So
Yes, they apparently have a group chat where they try to pull pranks on me. And
Yes. Well, yes. Both of us, but
Yeah.
I'm easier to get than
I found out about it yesterday.
So what about so you also coach the boys football team, right? And you're what do you do here at the school, the teacher?
I teach government and economics, and this year I'm also teaching law-related education and problems in American democracy.
Okay.
Third block. So
Awesome. So how does it differ for boys football team coaching them and then the girls?
I mean, they have totally different personalities for sure. I think it's a lot more laughing with the girls for sure.
Yeah.
It's a little. I'm still intense with the girls, but not as like I don't have to be as intense as I do with the guys. Like
Do they listen better?
I think so. I don't know if it's because they come into a sport where it's like brand new to them, so they have to listen. But
Yeah.
they've been really locked in every day, and that's something I've been proud of them for. Is they just been really just getting out there and I mean, if you looked at us last week against the team we played, it looks like we've been doing it a lot longer than they have.
Yeah.
So
they really
been really
So
focused.
they take it serious and
they weren't joking, like some of these other teams, we don't know. I mean, like even our girls were saying, wow, that girl on the other team, she didn't know she wasn't supposed to do that. She didn't know she wasn't supposed to do that.
that's why you got a good coach.
Then if we made mistakes, we had 2 calls that we shouldn't have called, but
we're learning to as we go.
but
First game, but look at your score.
right, it was great. I will say this, like our refs, even the girls commented about the refs. The Saints are sponsoring the refs, which is why we're playing all the way. And they've trained those refs. And the refs, refs get a bad rap sometimes, but they were so great. They were actually telling the girls, no, you can't throw that way because you can't throw a backward pass. You have to be forward they knew the basic stuff like move or whatever, or you were too close to the line, or the other girl can't put her hands like this. I mean, they were great with both sides of the girls, just telling them what they were doing wrong. So as they played the game, they were also learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was really great.
It was actually like applying themselves to
Exactly.
what they had learned.
Exactly.
It's just a good thing they didn't give that award based off the first couple minutes of the game because got us 2 penalties right off the bat. But after that, we smoothed it out.
So there's like crazy, like there's certain yardage you can't throw, you have to run, and certain yardage you have to run and you can't throw.
Last fail.
Sorry. We're busy, so it is what it is. But yes.
So how did besides getting to form your team, how did y'all do that? Just by the application, or how did you do that?
Like how did we figure out who's going to try out and everything?
Yeah.
We basically sent out the same form we sent out in November and got an updated one and just had students, they go in there and fill it out with their name, their contact information, everything we needed. And then we had 2 tryout dates. We had a makeup day after the first one, and we just went from there, just narrowed it down, kept all their times, the tryouts, and we discussed it and got our team together.
We had, we timed them doing certain exercises and certain things that we knew would be beneficial
Translate to it.
on the football field and the type of things that they were doing. So when we timed them, and then we were looking at like things, who came to school, who's going to be here, who's going to be at school, who's going to be here for the team. And we had several other girls that would have been great athletes, but they were in too many sports.
Yeah.
And so it would have affected their time. And we
Affected their school
Yes.
too, right?
well, because they couldn't practice as much there. And we do have some girls that are out sometimes at another sport, but they don't skip practice. Like they are there. They want to be there. And especially after last week, it felt so good to win. And they finally realized, we've been telling them, well, we kind of think y'all are good, but we didn't know because we hadn't seen them up against anybody else.
Yeah.
And so when they realized that, they have been paying attention and they get those skills, I think they focused even harder this week on some of the mistakes that they made.
Practices to that this week.
So
And they just been so focused, and we practice. I don't know what other schools are doing, but we practiced 5 days a week for the first, all the way up until game week. We did every day we could practice. We got out there because we knew we had a long ways to go to build from the foundation up. Just because they didn't have played this before, so we had so much to learn. And they really came on those last couple weeks, and we started just moving faster in practice, and now it's just kind of rolling, just getting out there doing our thing.
And they play on Thursdays, but
Yes.
they're all away games.
They are.
Explain that.
the Saints, because the Saints are paying for the refs and they're all focused, there's only 12 teams in Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
So we're on Saints Black, right? Or we're Saints, no, we're Saints Black.
I think St. Black.
All that means is we play one
it's two
set
divisions.
of teams, and they're not, like we're in a school, we're in division by 1A, 2A, 3A, all that. They're not doing that. They just basically group 6 teams together and another 6 teams together.
Okay.
And so one set of 6 teams plays on the Picayune field one week, and then the other set of 6 teams plays at a Southwest Community College in Summit, kind of by Macomb, at the same day on Thursdays. And so they have their trained refs for flag football, and they're also sponsoring it. So they are there, and they bring an announcer. They have their own. Is his name Austin?
Yeah, Austin
Yeah.
Pasco, I think it is. They call him Coach AP.
Yes, and he's got his mic. He's out there calling the whole thing. They're taking photos of the kids, and one game starts at 4, one at 5, one at 6, and they go back to back to back. But we only play one game a week. This season is shorter because of it being a pilot season, but we only have 5 games and then a championship.
Do you think you could see it growing maybe next year and them adding more teams? Or
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to grow really, really fast. If schools have the resources to do it, I think they'll pick it up pretty quick. Really, the pilot season, so the Saints can kind of show everybody how to do it, basically, and train refs and all that. So I think next season, hopefully, we'll start maybe playing some home games. I'm sure it'll change a lot, and we'll probably play a good bit more games, too.
where are you playing that this week?
Southwest Community College, Macomb, Mississippi.
Oh, well.
Big drive.
We got a 4 drive this week, but that's okay.
Well, we got the early game, so we got
Not too
let's
bad.
be able to lead back early. So that's good.
The bus with all these different kind of kids is really fun too, because they just kind of mesh and talk about the funny stuff. They're trying to, make the funny TikToks, and they're trying to get everybody to do this and that. And that's really been great for them to mix and say, oh, I don't like that, or I do like that, or, and it's just really been one of those kind of special seasons.
Could be a reality show.
It could be a reality show. I think so.
Definitely.
I think so. I mean, Coach Scott won't brag on himself, but I will, because I'm old and I could be his mom. But I really, when Coach Ray said, can you do this? I'm like, well, I can, but I know a lot about football. I'm a big sports fanatic. I know a whole lot of stuff, but I'm not about flag football. So I've learned all the covers and all the stuff for defense, and Coach Scott's handled all the offense, and then, I'm learning and doing and that kind of stuff. So it's been a great learning experience for me. But he has really done a fabulous job. I've kind of watched him evolve as a teacher, being the old lady teacher of 28 years. How he started with the girls and saying all this, and of course it was like Greek. Of course it was Greek to me. I'm sitting there and,
You're learning new
he's
terms.
writing all this on the board and all this, and I know most of the girls, but they're all looking at me like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, it's also for me. It's like I had to learn like what I needed to teach at the time, like what pace I needed to go. Because one day I feel like, okay, pick this up, and the next day I get out there and it's like, oh, we're not there yet. So had to figure that out.
And he
just
has
make it
done a
simple as
fabulous
possible.
job with them. I mean, he really has done a fabulous job of teaching them, not just saying, here's a play, go learn it. You know, he has implemented it. He has walked the field with them. He has thrown it to them and said, okay, no, we got to redo that because we're supposed to go this way. So they've had not just the visual practice and not just looking at it on the board, but he's been out on the field with them. And he's done a really, really great job. So I'm just bragging on him because he does deserve to be coach of the week.
Well, I think y'all both deserve an applause for your game last week.
Hey, her defense gave up 0 points too, so
Yeah.
that's a big deal. And also, I'm not gonna let her just brag on me. She's been a great help too, and you know, especially on like the administrative side on us. She's helped with the sponsors and everything, all the things that I kind of didn't know about because I'm new to being a head coach. Period. So I didn't know a lot about these things, and she's been a huge asset to have there.
Could you use more sponsors like to help with the
All the time.
insurance
All the
or
time.
whatever? So
Well,
just-
and we're like already, we've got this list for next year. We're like, oh, we need a practice field.
Yeah.
That's $265. We're like, okay, yeah, we have no budget. And, you know, but we're really planning and
people are
thinking.
happy to help if they know there's a
Right.
need. You know?
And, you know, just trying to get like a mic so we can talk to the girls at the game. They can, we got a couple of girls doing social media now. So it is really, really fun. We didn't even know the game was almost over when we kept playing last week because the girls were having so much fun.
Yeah, I looked up and it was
That's what makes it.
Oh, yeah. They were having a ball.
a lot of energy.
Yeah, a lot of energy. So you coach
I do cheer.
cheerleaders. So how, if I asked him about the difference between boys and girls, but how is it different coaching the cheerleader girls and the flag football girls?
Well, girls are girls, so that works fine. But no, they're fine. They really are. It's really about how you treat them. You know, if they know that you're going to listen, you may not agree with what they're asking you about, but they know that you're going to listen, at least hear them out, then they can kind of understand where you're coming from. Because they'll sometimes whine, you know, girls whine just a little bit. But then you have to like, okay, yes. And then they're kind of like, oh, we have to practice every day. You know, if I heard that once, I'm like, yes, because we don't know what we're doing. We have to learn. And then after they won last week by like such a large margin, they were like,
When we practice,
wait, wow, okay. I said, see, all that, it was worth it. So, you know, but they get the buy-in. You know, but what's fun is the girls that are cheerleaders are teaching cheers to the other girls on the team that if you're not on the field, we're like doing cheers on the sideline. Maybe not on the motions, but we're hollering all the words. And so everybody's learning all the cheers and cheering on their team. And so that's really fun.
awesome. But you also teach the teacher academy.
I do.
So that's a lot of fun.
Well, it's a great job. I get to work with the girls or guys that want to be teachers or even thinking about it. And we go to different schools. They get to experience being in the school, playing with kids, deciding what grades they like. So I have a fun job. So I could go home if I wanted to, but I like what I do. And we're already making plans for football for next year. So we're not really going to let them tell us that we can't coach. So
Yeah.
we're going to be like, okay, what are we doing now? We're ready. So
Well, all my life, I've heard Coach Holly, Coach Holly, Coach Holly, Coach Holly. And I never knew who Coach Holly was.
my last name is terrible to say.
So, but my daughter's in your teacher academy, and I learned who Coach Holly was last year. So, it was a pleasure. Well, let me ask you this. So, if next year, could you see like the team growing bigger, or what do you see changing on that?
We probably will be full on 25 next year. This year, we started out with 20. We added one more late, so we're at 21. The max you can have is 25. But I think, well, it depends on our tryout again, so we'll kind of decide next year. But I think we'll probably push it up to 25.
25 suddenly.
Well, you can only play 7-on-7.
Yeah.
So we also want to make sure that everybody, but you do have to have those extra people because you never know who's going to gel well together or somebody's going to get hurt, God forbid. And everybody's good at something different. And some of the girls that were not that fabulous at the beginning have really come along, and it's so fun to watch them be proud of themselves. Like, oh wait, I caught that ball.
Yeah.
Or oh
I got
wait,
the
I got the
flag.
flag. I got the flag. Because it's not. I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's also not easy. I mean, there are penalties and just like regular football. So I think we'll have a hard time weeding out people next year based on this year.
Yeah.
We don't have any seniors, not one.
Yeah.
We have not one senior. They're
don't,
all
so.
freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
Awesome.
Yes.
Will they add a cheer team or?
Well, I would love to do that. Like, I would
St.
love.
Martin already has
I know
it.
St.
They
Martin brought
already
their
do that.
cheerleaders. I was like, well, if I had somebody to drive y'all, I would get somebody up here. So it would really be fun for us to do that. And if we are able to have more home games, it'll be a whole lot easier to add more aspects and have cheer and get the dance team to come and stuff like that. So it would be great.
And I think the crowds are going to be good too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even over there at Picayune, they had both sides. They had people on both sides of the stands, and
We had
We
more
had a good
people than
bit.
Richland, and they were having, closer drives.
So nobody probably has it at their home team, right? They're probably on trying to run.
Everyone travels.
everybody.
Except
So
Picayune.
every team in Mississippi is going to be there at the place we're going tomorrow, and it's same. So they have 2 fields set up too. So there's 2 games always going on at the same time. So they got it figured out over there. But yeah, everybody plays at the same place. Also off topic, but I forgot. We got a message about Bishop
I
State
forgot
Community
about that.
College. They're starting up flag football in the college ranks next year, so they're trying to reach out to us and see who would be interested in.
They already found out we're good.
scholarships, so.
And so they were like, okay, we literally got an email after 1 week. Saying, hey, can we come watch? We want to recruit some of these girls.
Yeah.
Literally 1 week into the season.
Which I've heard there's a school in Florida too that came and watched St. Martin, East Central, and Bankley watched their jamboree, and I think some of St. Martin's girls are already getting scholarship offers from them. So I was like, well, I want to make sure our girls get the same opportunity. So I'm glad they reached out and are asking about that. We don't have any seniors for them to get yet, but
But they can watch.
they can start recruiting pretty
They
early.
can watch the juniors, and by the time next year,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we didn't get to have a jamboree. We weren't sure, again, what the rules were about what you could do or couldn't do since we're not in charge.
Yeah.
But so next year we'll be able to do that. We want to do a meet the team and do a big thing and do like a jamboree with an East Central and Van Cleve and do like all of us together, maybe St. Martin, just because everybody's so, in the vicinity could drive and, it'll be fun for the girls to get started. So we have a lot of good ideas for next year.
absolutely. One of the things I always ask you and put you on the spot about is, what do you love about Lucedale?
Oh, that's easy. Okay, I'll go first. I know I'm a talker. We have had this discussion many times in my class even. I love the fact that if we're not rich, as we talk about Ocean Springs or Biloxi, we don't have casino money, we don't have those kind of things, but when you say these kids need something, people will come out of the woodwork to try to help you. Even if they can only give you $10, it still helps. And I've never had an experience where I have said, do you know anybody that could help us with this? And
Didn't come.
somebody helps. I mean, and a lot of people say, no, don't put my name in there. I don't want them to know I did that. Somebody fed us last week. And I was like, well, can I put you on our Facebook page? She said, no, I just did this because we could and we wanted to. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Thank you so much. But people do that. And I think that's my favorite part about that is that we may not be rich in money, but we are rich in all the other ways that make this community and make our school better than on paper people think we should be. We shouldn't be great at all the things we're great at, but we are because of the people in our community. So that's my number one.
I agree.
So I'm from Hurley, but
That's right.
I
Just
have
kidding,
a lot
just
of ties with Lucedale, and they're similar communities, and I think one thing that makes it really fun coaching in a community like this is just the community support, like she was talking about, and how much they support the program, support the kids, because we played at some places like in football, 10 towns or cities that are a lot bigger than Lucedale, and they'll have like no fans in the stand. There'll be no fan support, and so that's a big benefit of being in a small community. Is tight knit, and they want to support each other, and everybody wants to be successful as a community.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing that I love about Lucedale.
The community support and everything.
Number one.
Well, I appreciate you coming and talking with us, and
Thank you for having us.
yeah,
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate what y'all put into the kids and to the community, and I know their parents appreciate you too.
We appreciate them. They've been great.
sure.
So
Absolutely. Make sure you like and subscribe to whatever platform that you're using to Write at Home with Karen Wright. And I appreciate you listening and watching, and I'll see you next time.